All right, welcome. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you. Now, my name's Deanna, and you can hear me on Now 100.5 from 2 to 7. I want to thank you all for coming out, and we're going to have a really good time because John Kay is here. So we're excited to have him out here. Let's give it up for John Kay. And John Kay, let's go ahead and bring him out. Welcome. Hi. Welcome to Sacramento.
Hi, what's up, everybody? What do you got? Good afternoon. It feels like morning to me because
Oh, no, is
we were
this
up
early
late
for
last
you?
night.
Oh, okay.
We got in at like 3 a.m. So
Oh,
we're feeling good though. We're good. We played in San Francisco last night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is this your first time in the Sacramento area?
Um, in this capacity, I actually believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to Hot Off the Griddle this morning. It's like down the
Nice.
street. It was actually pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, congratulations on all your success because in the
Thank you.
last 4 years, things have changed for you. You're a husband, a father now. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got 2 little baby boys. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you.
How does that feel doing what you're doing and now you're a family man? Has that changed things for
It
you?
absolutely changed everything.
Yeah.
Changed everything. It changes the way that I approach this industry, this business. It changes the way that I kind of even approach my art because it's very rooted now. I
Yeah.
know exactly who I am and why I'm doing this,
Yeah.
and it's for them.
Good.
And that keeps a really healthy perspective because I think that this is a dangerous industry that we live in where you can kind of drift away and get consumed by the art, and we've seen it time and time again, like people end up in really scary situations, but to have that kind of counterpoint, the family, my wife, to always be sure, like, all right, that's great, but come on back down to earth now. Come here, change this diaper, you know? Like, it's always a good thing to kind of come back to, and it's helped me kind of balance even my own obsession with the art, right? Because I think before I had kids, I was always like playing with a song lyric or a melody in my head, like kind of obsessing.
Right.
And that didn't necessarily make the art better. It just made me consumed by always thinking about what could be better or not. And having kids was like, oh, you don't have time to do that. Like, go be a dad. And learning how to kind of switch back and forth between the 2 sides of my brain has helped me focus more. And then when I do look at the songs, I kind of know clearer and easier rather than being like, oh, it could be this or this or this. So having kids has helped me in every way imaginable and challenged me more than I could have imagined.
Yeah, and with this album, it seems a lot of songs are inspired by your wife.
Yeah.
And there is one song where you're like, I thought I was going to die alone.
Yeah.
How did you meet?
Oh, man. So long time ago, I was on a show called American Idol. And that was my first audition for anything. And I after that show, I got hired to sing at a wedding. And I met my wife at this wedding. You know, she had a boyfriend. She wasn't interested. But 8 months later, her friend who was the bride texted me and was like, hey, you remember my friend? And I was like, I'll be there tomorrow. And that was our first date. And that was almost 10 years ago now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's like a movie right
Well,
there.
then the cool part is I wrote If We Never Met about that. And so it was really full circle for that song to kind of be the one to raise its hand and do the thing that we all dream of. And it was directly just about this crazy story, how like my grandma forcing me to go audition for American Idol led to me meeting my wife.
Yeah, I like that. And the album is called Salt and Light. Where did that title come from?
So my wife and I were sitting in the living room, kind of like listening through all the music and talking about like how to best present it, and having all the last 4 years have really I have been like realigning, because I think when you go out on tour and you do stuff like this, like you have to have a strong sense of knowing exactly what you're about and who you are. I think as an artist, like you build the wave, right? You write, you figure out kind of the angle, and then when you go crash that wave, you got to be pretty firm in just who you are. And we talked a lot about, if I'm gonna do this again, I want to be open about who I am and how we've grown as a family, and we've grown in faith. We made church a real staple in our life, and want our kids to grow up that way. And Salt and Light, like if I think about even my artistry, like I just want to be a light in every room that I walk into, and I want to share joy and love and peace and keep it really rooted in those things. And Salt and Light just felt like it really challenged me, because for a little while I was like, I got to be cool. I got to be a pop artist. I got to be cool, right? And it's like, that's actually not as important as being authentic. And if I continue to do this and have this gap between who I am at home and who I am as an artist, that's going to cause conflict. And it felt like time, and I felt strong enough in my faith to take that step. And that's why we led with a song like Ego Death, which was kind of just a cool, challenging record that kind of broke open the mold of what I thought I needed to be as an artist, and allowed me to really express myself and just completely open and talk about things like that, about faith being rooted, family, love, and how I want to do everything for them.
Yeah, no, you're bringing joy and happiness with this album to a lot of people, so it's working. And we have some questions from the audience.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's do that. And there's some good ones here. So what is your favorite McDonald's order?
Oh, nice. Nice. I'll tell you, my wife's favorite order is the 2 cheeseburger meal, but do not put mustard on her cheeseburgers. You know, in New York, they don't even put mustard on the cheeseburgers. It's just like a Florida thing or whatever. I would probably go with, you know what? I just like the dollar menu. I always like to go like double cheeseburger, McChicken, some fries, and a big old Diet Coke, you know?
There you go. I like that. That's a good one. And then who would you be in Harry Potter, and why? What character?
I'm not the Sorting Hat. I can't decide that. I'd have to pop it on and see. I guess it depends on which day you catch me on. I think my wife said she feels strongly that she would be a Hufflepuff and that I would be a Gryffindor. What character would I be? I don't know. I guess we'd all be like, oh yeah, I'd be Harry for sure. I'm the chosen one. I don't know.
We can think about that. And how was your experience on American Idol?
It was great. I was very green. I mean, that was the first opportunity to really test the nerves, to get thrown. I mean, that was my first audition for anything. So to kind of go from zero to being thrown on, the stage in front of Keith Urban and Jennifer Lopez and have the cameras and everything. That was when I first discovered that I liked that adrenaline rush, that it didn't scare me, that I didn't have like crazy nerves. I kind of like rose to the moment, and that kind of showed me that maybe I have a little bit of what it takes as far as being comfortable under that kind of pressure. But at the same time, I just was so green. Like, they started throwing me into like group rounds and talking about harmonies and choreography, and I just had no idea what was happening. I'm standing up there like, can I just sing something kind of soulful? Like, I don't know what we're doing. So I learned a lot very quickly, but I think it also kind of planted that seed of, you can do this, and you like how this feels. And so I think without that, that was kind of like a catalyst of kind of exploring what all this means and what it takes to be an artist, and set me on a path to keep trying to figure it out.
And both Mariah Carey and J-Lo said you were a star. Did that make you nervous?
I mean, I was just like, I hope they don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. But thanks. No, it was like, it was cool. I think about all those shows now because there's so many of them, and they just roll over so quickly. And there's a lot of people that reach out and they're like, what advice do you have for young? Like, should I go on The Voice? Should I go on Idol? And I guess the short answer can be sure, but like, it's not going to make your career. Like the biggest thing an artist can have is patience, honing their craft, learning how to write, learning how to find like who they are throughout music. It takes so long. And so to think that you can kind of, first off, these shows don't really care about the talent. They have a show to make, and it's not, they go hand in hand. But I couldn't be here, I don't think, without like the belief that came from it but it also is kind of crushing in that as soon as it's over, like you have all these moments like J-Lo and Mariah and all this thing, and you feel like, oh my gosh, all producers are gonna call me, and this is it, we're going straight. And then the show ends, and it's crickets, totally quiet, and it's confusing because you're like, do I go on tour? Do people know me? And then another season comes out, and like nobody even cares that you were on the show anymore, and it's like, but I thought this was gonna be the thing, and you know, so it's for a young person, I feel like it can really mess with your head. And what I would try to tell myself as a young contestant is like to kind of do what I ended up doing, but like go underground, go find collaborators, go write, go like throw some ideas around, like try to figure out who you are and what you want to say and how you want to say it and musically grow. And slow, it's like a marathon. This career is just, it takes forever to kind of figure all those things out. So to think you can skip that step with a big audition, it's happened,
Right.
but it doesn't really happen.
Right. Yeah. It's like very rare.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to start making music?
I think I fell in love with singing at a young age, just I was always fascinated with like how people can move their voices around, like back to like Al Green and Otis Redding and kind of the classic soul singers. I was like, that's just amazing. And as a kid, I remember trying to, do like riffs and runs, and they're really bad, and trying to like copy and sing. So I was kind of always singing just for me because I liked it. But I was never in choir, never really had traditional vocal lessons until much, much later. But it was always in there. I was always thinking about different singers' approaches and, like how Gavin DeGraw did this, and I like how John Mayer sings this, and it's so smooth. And I would like learn their little things until I finally found my way to what is becoming mine.
Yeah.
And Grandma Bunny was a staple. She always sat me down at the keyboard and encouraged me to sing, and always had instruments throughout the house. And it was a slow process. I really didn't start committing to this till I was like 22. And I'm learning new things every day.
What would you do if you weren't doing music?
That's the question. I think about that all the time. I don't know, something that makes money.
Let me know what that is. And what is your biggest challenge as an artist, and what is your goal?
I think the biggest challenge as an artist is to try to make sense of it. All right, there's always, what does this mean? Am I after attention, or am I fulfilling purpose? Like, I'm driven to keep doing. What does it all mean? How does it work with, what's 5 years look like when the kids are a little bit older? Like, if it goes well, are we on a tour bus together? Like, so I think the hardest part is constantly like communicating with my wife and readjusting our vision and our dream, not just for me or for the art, but for us as a family unit, and building the life that we want collectively and the life that she wants, not just this dream that I have, but I want it to be our thing. What was the other half of the question?
Oh, what is your goal?
My goal now, after taking so much time away, is to kind of break out of the fantasy delusion dream of it and make it sustainable. Right? And that's why I kind of wanted to do this album the old school way of you drop music and you go tour.
Yeah.
And you go connect with people and you go connect with fans, and you make merch and you drive this thing that you can build upon, tour by tour and city by city, to being sustainable in a way that I can justify being creative rather than just, praying for a hit to make everything make sense. But actually just doing the work and doing the gritty tour, the van runs where we're out till 3 a.m. and then, up early the next day. Like, I'm getting really inspired, and we're only 3 stops in, but I'm getting really inspired by this tour run because it just feels really, really different, really real, really kind of rooted, and stuff where we can have conversations and talk and get to know each other and spend some time together, and not just like, I don't know, invest in how it looks like on social media, or try to make it look massively successful.
Right. And lastly, what is your favorite song?
Off the album?
How about off the album and then your favorite song in general?
Okay, two-parter. Off the album, it changes because there's so many different like feels. Someday, if I'm really missing the family, like Here's the Plan just crushes me. But I do remember distinctly when we worked on Never Been in Love being like, this is just so bright and fun and pop, and
Yeah.
so it goes between those two depending on kind of mood I'm in. And then my favorite song in general, and we've been doing a full band cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World,
Oh, good. That's a good one.
and it's so fun to play. I have so much more respect for that song and that time of music when we just like throw it together as a band. That right now I just can't get that song out of my head.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to rule the world. So good.
I love that. All right. Well, you just got a little taste, but we're going to go into your performance now.
Cool.
All right. You guys ready? All right.